Hello there. Brexit has plunged Northern Ireland into a government crisis, and new elections were already on the horizon. But the central government in London is now preventing this. In the dispute over the implementation of the Brexit agreement, the British central government wants to give the leading parties in Northern Ireland more time. That's how they put it. Northern Ireland Minister Chris Heaton-Harris announced that the deadline for forming a government in Northern Ireland would be extended by 1 year. And the parties in Northern Ireland now have until January 18th in 2024 to form a joint government. If this does not succeed, a new election must be scheduled within 12 weeks. Although that should have been a long time ago already. Northern Ireland has been without a government for over a year, and even after an election last May, the majority unionist DUP and the Republican Party Sinn Féin failed to reach an agreement. The deadline for forming a government had actually already expired in January. However, a new election is neither desirable nor helpful in the coming weeks, said Heaton-Harris. He came to this conclusion after discussions with political representatives, companies, and communities in Northern Ireland, as he says. Unionists fear separation from the rest of the kingdom here, and we always hear this, although I don't think it's a smokescreen. The dispute is about the implementation of the so-called Northern Ireland Protocol, which was agreed upon in the course of Britain's exit from the EU. It provides for special customs rules for the north of the Emerald Isle in order to keep the border between the still British region and the EU state of Ireland open, also to prevent the Northern Ireland conflict from flaring up again. However, the agreement has created a de facto customs border in the Irish Sea, just for goods, separating Northern Ireland from the rest of the UK. Whether the political standstill will actually last until next year is an open question. In the negotiations between London and Brussels, an early agreement was recently at least considered possible. In this case, however, the British government would have to convince the Unionists to agree to the agreement and to give up their blocking stance. Yeah, and I'm Santa Claus. The Unionists see the agreement as a threat to their ties to the kingdom and have therefore so far blocked the formation of a government out of protest. They are demanding drastic changes to the Northern Ireland Protocol, which has also long been a source of dispute between the EU and the British central government. Recently, as I said, there seemed to be movement in the negotiations between the EU and Great Britain. Should the government in London and the EU indeed reach an agreement, the British central government will have a hard time to deal with the DUP, especially because Boris Johnson lied to them big time in the past about the whole thing. And Northern Ireland is currently still a part of the United Kingdom. Society there is, though, deeply divided between Protestants, who mostly see themselves as British, and Catholics, who often define themselves as Irish and often call for the part of the country to be united with the Republic of Ireland, so for a united island of Ireland. For 3 decades, militant groups on both sides, as well as the police and British military, fought in a civil war that only ended in 1998 with the so-called Good Friday Agreement. According to the peace agreement, the strongest parties in both denominational camps must agree on a unity government. But as I said, the DUP part is, from my point of view, just a smokescreen. I probably guess that it's far more important to them that they only came in second in May behind Sinn Féin, and that for the very first time. And they, anyway, don't want to have to do with anything based on reality as we see nowadays. But I've got one more important part, because I looked a bit through analytics here on the channel, and YouTube seems to have gotten a bit stricter about notifications for viewers. So if you really want to be notified when a new video comes out on this channel, and if you have subscribed to the channel, then you really have to click the little bell as well to get a notification when I publish a new video. Because I can see how many notifications are sent out for a video, and it's just a fraction of the number of subscribers. And that's why many of you told me in the comments already, I haven't seen a no video from you for quite some time. It's most probable that you haven't clicked the little bell, and so you haven't been informed. There were some people, I must have published 1,000 videos since they were here last, because they didn't see one. It must have been the little bell. So just click it and you'll be informed 3 times a day when I publish a video. And I'll see you in my next video. I'll be back.